Well, with unemployment numbers remaining unchanged at stubbornly high levels, what are the youth of South Africa supposed to do? Well, one young woman who is pursuing the call for entrepreneurship. Her name is Snare Ntembu, and the 25-year-old qualified attorney got tired of waiting for that life-changing call from a potential employer. And she is now the owner and founder of the law firm Passcara and Partners, and she wants to use that to inspire other graduates. Snare, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You're 25 years old.
Yes.
And you've started a law firm.
Yes, I have.
Do you sometimes wake up and think, what was I thinking?
I do. Every day it's like, are you sure you even want to do this? Are you able to run a company at your age? So it's so surreal, but I took the decision and I'm here now. So.
Now tell us about taking that decision, because it wasn't an overnight decision, it was a long one. Obviously you'd studied to become qualified, and then the journey to finding a job would have started. And I'm assuming that was a frustrating one for you.
Yeah, look, I did get a job. I was employed before this. I did my articles, and the law firm I was working for kept me after my articles. But I got a bit frustrated, and that was the same thing that inspired me, the frustration, you know, to be employed, and I wanted to be my own boss. And I was like, okay, Snare, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it?
So what frustrated you in that the first real job that you got in the area of your expertise?
I think it's more so the 9-to-5 thing, where you feel like you're controlled by someone. Us millennials have trouble with the whole 9-to-5 thing and somebody telling you what to do, when to do it, you know. So I felt like, you know what, in order to be your own boss and set your own rules, you need to have your own company. So the road was difficult, but, you know, we're here now, and it happened, and it's real. You know?
Now, your decision to become a lawyer came from an experience you had as a teenager when you did a job shadow with a magistrate, and you realized that law was something where you could help people, specifically in the area where you're from. Do you believe that instead of working for a big law firm and going through the ranks, and rather starting your own firm, would that allow you to help more people in the types of cases that are passionate for you?
Definitely. I'm from a very small town called Eshowe in the northern part of KZN, and you find that the issues that they have are just, you know, so big, but they don't have access to somebody who's going to assist them. And it's so nice when you can be assisted by somebody you can relate to. So it was that, you know, you can also help people from your hometown, and it's going to be like you're giving back to your own community, which was also like a great thing for me.
Now, at 25 years old, and you look 25 years old, that's a compliment. Have you found it difficult when people come into the firm, they're looking for help, and you step forward to help them, and they'll say, what time is your boss going to be here? And will your boss be able to see me and help me?
That is one of the challenges. My age, and you know, I look 25 now because I'm wearing makeup, but when I don't have makeup on, I look even younger. And I remember, even before the law firm I was working for, people would look at me like, are you the one who's assisting us, or should we, you know? So, and the age thing is an issue, and now it's a bigger issue because now it's my own company. But people forget that the law field, we assist each other. Let's say I have an issue that I feel like is too complex. I can call in an advocate that I know who specializes in that matter, and they'll be very willing to assist me.
Now, other than that, what have been some of the challenges you found in the actual business side of starting your own business like this law firm?
Finances is always an issue when you start up. It's always an issue because if you don't have huge capital coming from somewhere or somebody, you're going to have an issue because you need to survive, because you don't have a job anymore, and then your business needs to survive. The other challenges are marketing. Our field is very strict about the way that we market ourselves, so you need to be sure how you market so that it doesn't equate to touting, which is like a disgrace to the profession. So, yeah, financial, age, and
infrastructure,
getting an office. You know, you need to get an office that's going to be well within your means, because you're still starting out. You don't want to go rent a 5-room office, and then 2 months down the line, the business is not going in well, and now your rent is. Another is clients. Clients sometimes don't pay you on time. So if you don't have saved
Cash flow.
up, yes, you're going to have an issue with running your business.
Now, last year I interviewed Navi Pillay, of course, one of South Africa's most famous attorneys, advocates, High Court judge, former commissioner of the UN Human Rights Commission. And she started her own firm in KZN, I think it was in the 70s, because as a black attorney, she couldn't find employment in apartheid South Africa, and she felt the need to go out on her own so that she could help people and actually start working as an attorney. Your experience many decades later is very different. Do you find that you could, however, I mean, you've started your firm out of choice, to suit your lifestyle and your needs. Do you find, though, that you could learn from the experience, especially of those black female attorneys who've gone before during a far darker time in South Africa's history?
Definitely, definitely. Even the articles that I read about the issues that black attorneys used to have, you know, they're like, wow, did you guys really go through so much, you know? For us, it's you know, it's much easier. You're in the same class with every race. You go to court and your opponent is a different race. So it's much more easier for us. But the stories that they tell you and the stories that you hear, you just like, wow. But at the same time, you gain the courage as well. If you're lacking some courage, when you hear their stories and you look at their stories, you're like, if they could go through those issues, I could also, you know, the challenges that I face, I could still go through them.
Now, you're not resting on your laurels and just wanting to start your business. You've also put yourself out there to want to inspire other graduates to consider starting their own business. What's your message to them?
Just go for it. Go for it. Calculate and go for it. Because the moment you wait and you say, no, I'm going to wait until I'm a certain age, maybe I'll be more mature, maybe I'll have money by then, you realize that you've wasted so much time. Just, if you've calculated and you've weighed out your risks, just go for it, and then you'll look back 10 years later and you're like, even if it didn't work out, you'll be like, I tried my best. So my women out there, my young people out there, let's create jobs for each other, because me opening a law firm is not only employment for myself, but it's employment for, you know, looking at the statistics of unemployment in our country. So let's go for it, guys.
Well, that's Snem Tembu, the owner of the law firm Passcara and Partners, which she started at the ripe old age of 25, with a message to all of us, really, not just young people. Just go for it, because you might just regret it other than trying. Thank you so much for coming in to join us.